All right, guys, so what you should have out in front of you is the Ready Math Packet, and we are looking at page 6, which is titled Reading a Decimal in Word Form. So the question is, what is the word form of each decimal? Now, some of you may not need any help with this. You might be able to read these decimals and you've got it all together, and you might just want to come back tomorrow to see if your answers are correct. Tomorrow I'll post a video for day 3 giving the correct answers for this, or if you want to skip to the end where I give you the answers to yesterday's work, you can do that as well. But as far as this goes, what is the word form of each decimal? What you really need to be aware of is the place value chart. So I'm gonna, right, so this is the place value chart that you want to make sure you can create on your own. I have it here created for you, and you can pause this and you can use this to kind of, place your numbers as you're writing them out, but you want to make sure you can draw that on your own as well. So for the first problem is 0.2, which of course is not how you say that correctly in word form, but I'm just saying that to not give it away. So if I go to day 2 and I actually write that number, I go here to the chart and I draw 0.2. I realize that the way I say that is 2/10. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to write. So my answer here is 2/10. And in your math notebook, you have that sheet of paper from the beginning of the year with all of the ways to spell the numbers, or the correct ways to spell the numbers. So that would be something useful that you want to use. If we're looking at number 2, I have the same digit 2, but it is not in the tenths place, it is in the hundredths place. So the way I would write that would be 2/100. And again, there's not a whole lot of room on this page. I have a little more room because I made it a PDF file, but you don't have as much room as I do. So you can do this on a separate sheet of paper. You can do it in your math notebook to make sure that you have enough space and you feel comfortable writing. And some things that I may need to clarify or remind you about: if you have a 0 to the left of the decimal, we don't write 0 and 2/10. We don't write 0 and 2/100. We just simply name the part of our decimal that has value. So 2/100, 2/10. Let me give you another example here. For example, okay, let's take number 12, for example. Now that one does have value to the left of the decimal point. So the way I would write that, or I would say that out loud, would be 8 and 8/1000ths. Over there to the left, my 8 has a value of 8, and on the right, my 8 has a value of 8/1000ths. So I would say 8 and 8/1000ths. For a problem like number 11, I have 500 on the left and 2/10 on the right. So the way I would say that number is 500 and 2/10. Again, I'll hover over here so you can see this. This is going to be useful for you. So you can place your numbers, or you can kind of tell, okay, after the decimal point, if it ends to the right, one place to the right is the tenths. If it ends 2 places to the right of the decimal, it's hundredths. And if it ends 3 places after the decimal point, then it's in the thousandths place. And as well, you can see over here to the left, all the different place values to the left. So this is going to be useful for that, and also knowing how to spell your numbers. I think that's it. So if you want to come back tomorrow for the answers, day 4 video, I will have the answers to this page, but now I'm going to give you guys the answers to the page that we worked on yesterday. So that would be understanding of place value. Number 1, I've got my shaded parts. So the first one is 5/10. I shaded 5 columns, which ends up being 5 columns out of 10, which is the same thing as 1/2. The second square, I've got 5/100. I only shaded 5 little units. There are the answers for the middle parts. The number line. This one was a little bit difficult to kind of keep everything equal and so it wouldn't look so cluttered. So I hope that that is easily understandable for some of you. So we've got 0, then 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10, which becomes 1, and then 11/10, which is 1 and 1/10, 12/10, which is 1 and 2/10, 13/10, which is 1 and 3/10, 14/10, which is 1 and 4/10, 15/10, which is 1 and 5/10, 16/10, which is 1 and 6/10, 17/10, which is 1 and 7/10, 18/10, which is 1 and 8/10, 19/10, which is 1 and 9/10, and then we've got at the end 20/10, or 2, just wholes. The next question is, use the number line to explain why 2 is 10 times the value of 2/10. And I didn't draw that yet because I wanted to do it so you guys could actually see the jumps. So I'm going to go in and draw it now with my green pen. So I'm going to start at 0, and starting at 0, I should make 10 jumps of 2/10. So that's my explanation there. It says 10 jumps of 2/10 will get you to 2. And then I put see the number line. So I'm just referring them back to the number line. All right, so for number 2, you had to draw a number line from 0 to 2 and then draw and label your points at 2 and 2/10. So I have a point at 2/10 and I just underlined it since I ended up labeling all of them. And then I underlined the 2 as well. The second part says, use the number line to explain why 2 is 10 times the value of 2/10. So that's what I'm going to do now. I should have 10 jumps of 2/10 since 2 is 10 times the value of 2/10. So I should have, when I'm jumping by 2/10, I'm landing at those even decimal endings. So 2/10, 6/10, 8/10, 10/10, 12/10, 14/10, 16/10, 18/10, and then finally 20/10, which is 2. So if I count the number of jumps that I made, I have, starting here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And so I do have 10 jumps of 2/10, and that is going to get me to the whole number 2, because 10 2/10, or 2/10 times 10, is equal to 2. So the next couple of problems, complete the equations to show the relationship between 2 and 2/10. I've got 2/10 times 10 is equal to 2. 2 divided by 10 is equal to 2/10, and those are the two answers right there. Number 3, which type of model do you like best? Explain why. So this is my explanation. You could have something different. And if you want to put your explanation in the comments, that would be great. I'd love to read them. So which type of model do you like best? Explain why. I like the grids because you can physically see how large the decimals are. So for me personally, I like that because I can see, okay, 5/100 is a lot smaller than 5/10. When I'm looking at my number line, yes, I understand that all of these put together are going to arrive to 2, but I don't see the magnitude of those decimals. So for that reason, I like the grids better. All right, guys, so that is pretty much it. Those were any help that I could offer with Ready Math. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, again, on the reading a decimal in word form, please feel free to ask me about it. And I will give the answers to this at the end of the video tomorrow. So day 4, no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Day 3, Ready Math Packet, whatever that video is, at the end of it, there will be an answer key for this. Okay, so again, I hope you guys are well. I miss you all. Please make sure you do something fun. You don't want to be doing school day all stuff. You will get tired of it. Make sure you're, I don't know, being active, playing a board game, playing hide and seek in the house. I don't know what it is, but have some fun while you guys are out of school. And hopefully we will be back soon.